as I was also thinking about this black tax, I just listened the other day to a podcast titled Fagin. It was actually from your fellow countryman, a gentleman I admire a lot called Busit and the Choir.
Yeah.
E.T. So he was talking, Fagin, I understand, is a Yiddish name, and it speaks to, the value you offer is what you give to the community. And, looking at how, and he was giving the example of how he was invited by one of his, I think it was an Asian friend of his, who invited him to a party. And in that party, virtually everything that went to the preparation and laying out of that party was done from within the family. So somebody was there doing the catering, somebody was there providing, the PA system or entertainment, somebody was there providing, the tents and the seats, everything. They sourced it all from within the company. Apparently, the way they operate is if any of us, if any member of our community or our family, either starts a business, regardless of even if it's the most expensive, even if his service might not be the best, whatever the issue, they will commit to support him, to get him, sort of off his feet. And, if you look at communities, the Jewish communities, Asian communities, here in Kenya, we have like the Somali community also. You see how they come together as a community in support of one another. And if I can tell you like how Somalis have grown their wealth, really emanates from that coming together. Now, my question is, how come? Because the whole issue of black tax is, in a sense, comes from a good place. You want to help.
True.
But how is it that we've not been able to organize it in a way that it uplifts us from one, instead of us relying on this one person, we've built something, as you say, that is at least going to guarantee generational wealth.
Yeah.
It's been a constant struggle. I think the Black community across the world really has battled with this aspect of generational wealth. What is it that you feel we've done wrong? And I mean, South Africa probably is a good example, and you could borrow from what you've seen.
I think where we've gotten it wrong is the fact that we place more value on money than we do on money management. I mean, think about it. Black people have money. Like we could say that we are an economic superpower. Here in SA, we are the purchasing power of SA. In Africa, we are the purchasing power of Africa. So it means that money is not a problem. The only problem that we have is actually managing the money. So in essence, financial education is more valuable than money in itself. So we were taught to get all this money, when we go to school, when we start our businesses, when we start as young as going to grade 0, we've been inducted into getting money, because the only reason why you go into kindergarten and grade 0 is to ultimately get into this game of making money. So we are inducted into this game of making money, but nobody teaches Black people how to manage money, because white people go to school, Indian go to school, the Chinese go to school, everybody goes to school, but we don't receive the same education when it comes to managing money, because we go through the same system, and there's nothing wrong with that. But where we got it wrong as Black people, as Black families, is that we don't know how to manage that money. And we don't know how to put that money in places where it will make more money. So whenever we get money, we are going to blow it away, especially in non-essentials. We see it with our peers. Most of the time when my peers get money, end of the month, the first thing they think about is a good time. Let's go drink alcohol. Let's go have fun. Let's go for the girls. And it's an induction that it's a poverty mindset that we are inheriting. So we have inherited it throughout the time. Now we don't know how to, even when we have money, even when we are in economic power, but we don't know how to use that money. So that's the main reason why there's this black poverty in our families, which also is a huge contributor to black tax.
I think that's quite important. I think many of us, I mean, I started getting financial, sort of personal financial education when I was already an adult.
True.
I wonder, I hear of some, certain cultures where when a child is growing up, their first birthday, the parents buy them stocks, shares of houses. We don't have that. And even without that, we don't even get just the education itself, because I think that's the most valuable thing to understand. How do you deal with taxes? How can you grow your money? It's quite interesting. Yeah, definitely. And I wonder, even for, as you're saying, these other communities, where do they get that education? Because it's definitely not in your mainstream schools. Is it in their homes? Sort of the practices and traditions they have as a family, what they observe from their own people. Those don't
look
they
at
don't take a lot of
the Somalians in Kenya. I don't think when they came to Kenya, they came well established. They didn't have work permits, and they didn't have as much opportunities as Kenyans have.
No.
Same here in SA. Somalians, when they come here, they don't have work permits. They also don't have the same opportunities that we have. But when they come here, they flourish. They flourish. So how could the same situation affect two people differently? One person is saying that I'm in South Africa, I'm in Tembisa. In Tembisa, there's absolute poverty. And the Somalian comes in Tembisa, they start a tuck shop in Tembisa, then they make a living for themselves. So you ask yourself, where is the problem there? Where's the mindset there? So that's the education that puts them one step ahead of us every time.
Quite interesting. I think one thing that I can also comment, more than just how they are organized as families and clans, where they find a lot of their support from. You could be, let's say, for example, you're looking to start a business, and I say maybe you are Somali, maybe a native South African.
Yeah.
If I think of where I'm going to source my capital, typically it will be sort of the traditional sources, which are banks and other institutions. You would get it from his family. And it doesn't mean that someone that is directly connected with it. It could just be someone within his clan who happened to be very wealthy, has a few, couple of money to spend, and then they'll agree on, I think they have a certain percentage, and it will be sort of patient capital, where you're told, get 1 million shillings, start your business. Okay, you can repay me in maybe 2-3 years down the line as the business grows. If you take a bank loan, it's not patient. Immediately when you get it, you start repaying it immediately. So, and of course, the interest rate is also much, much higher. So it's those kind of things. But even more than that, I think one thing that I have seen with a lot of Somalis is, number one, they are they're risk takers and very bold.
Yeah.
Even when they don't know something, you might think they know everything. They know how to take risk. So, and I think that's one thing that we can also learn as Africans. Many of us, we sort of like going through the well-beaten path.